Joining us, we're going to start front row center, Alicia.
Doing well.
How you doing, Alicia? Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. First of all, congratulations to you and the team making it this far. You are an intricate part of this team being the sixth woman of the year. What is going through your mind now, just finally that the finals are here? This matchup has been highly anticipated. How are you all in the team preparing?
Well, I can say we're definitely happy it's finally game day. um, no, but for me, my preparation is the same as I've approached every game this season, every game in my career. It's the same, the way I study, the way I prepare. Obviously, in the finals, it's not about X's and O's. It's about teams that make the most plays, the most reads, and just knowing tendencies. And so Um, for me, I'm looking forward to this. I know it's going to be an exciting series for just women's basketball in general, and where our league is going, where women's sports is going, and so I'm excited for it. I'm ready to get going.
Next question, Alicia, to your right in the second row.
AAC, just to piggyback off that, I mean, you've been around the league for a while. Can you just put in perspective the growth you've seen and how this final seems to be getting more attention than maybe some of the other ones like in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time for women's sports right now, especially women's basketball. We've had some of the best players in the world for a very, very long time. When you look at like the Olympics and just how many gold medals in a row we've been able to win, and this is the best league in the world with the best players. So to finally be in a space, when I first entered this league, to where we barely had any games on prime time, to now where majority of the big ones and matchups and finals are, where everybody can see it. And that's something that I've been harping on over the years, is like, they can't support us if they can't see us. They don't know us if they don't see us. And so to be in a space now, to be a part of the growth where we are on that stage now, where people are seeing the product that's on this floor night in and night out, and finally just investing in us. It's a great place to be in. It's a great position to be in for me personally as a player in this league, to know that I help plant some seeds along the way, to where hopefully when I'm, long and retired, hanging with my kids, watching the league, we have $1 million players in this league. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to in the future.
Alicia, next question, second row center.
Hello.
Super random. I'm just curious, do you still get butterflies at this moment? I mean, you've been in these games, you've had a long career. Do you still get that kind of feeling leading up to game one, or is it kind of more of a little bit of calm, collected kind of point at this point?
It's both. I think if you don't have a little bit of nerves, I don't know if you're actually human. But no, I mean, yeah, there's definitely a little bit of more of like excitement than just like being nervous, because we've put in the work all season, and that's where that calmness comes in. It's like, we know we've done the work, we know we've prepared, and then being in these moments, you know what it takes. And so for me, just being able to rely on that experience helps keep things like at ease. But yeah, there's still a little nerves too, for sure.
Alicia, staying in the second row center.
Hey, AC, it's
Hi.
good to see you.
You
So,
too.
Jordan Sparks and Ashanti are performing.
Hey, shout out Queens, okay.
Clearly, you enjoy that. I'm just curious what you think those connections do for the WNBA, and why it means something that those folks are going to be here and performing.
Yeah, I mean, we're a league of women, so to be able to have, female superstars in another field be here, just representing and supporting, it's awesome. You know what I mean? I mean, you saw it with Cardi and Meg and all them with LSU and the players there. So it's like, to be able to have that connection with music the same way that the guys do. It's pretty sweet, and especially them, that it's a little nostalgia for me. I'm not gonna say how old I was when these songs from Ashanti were bumping through my boombox, if that tells you anything. No, but I'm looking forward to it. It's dope. They're amazing artists, and for them to be here with us today, just kicking off the finals, is special.
Alicia, to your right in the front row.
Hey, Alicia, respect for the boombox. Jackie Ray, Nightcast Media. Commissioner talks a lot about the importance of rivalries, and now that we're actually seeing the rivalry everyone wanted to see in the finals, from your perspective, how important is it, especially when you're talking about evolving the league?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You know, for me personally, like a rivalry comes over years of those battles. I don't know necessarily that this is a typical rivalry. Like, yeah, we compete hard, we play against each other, and you know, obviously the outside narratives of creating that. But I mean, regardless, it's still exciting. It's what people want to see. It's what draws eyes, and you know, it's fun to be a part of. Those games always have a little bit more. You know, I know everybody's gonna say every game is the same, and you approach it, but there's certain games, and that's where I think the rivalry comes in, where there's a little bit of extra. You know what I mean? You're gonna prepare a little bit harder. You want to do a little bit better, and play a little bit better. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time for, like I said, for women's basketball, for our league, for the players. Like there's a lot of amazing players that are going to step on this floor tonight. And I hope that the little girls at home watching, even little boys watching, that they can see, you know, these amazing, strong women at the peak, competing for what's the best. And I hope that inspires them, because this is going to be a great series for that.
Anyone else? Staying in the front row.
Hey, Alicia, you were talking about just they can't see you, they can't support you, but you have a lot of support. You mentioned about Ashanti. Also, you know, LeBron and AD are also going to be in attendance, and other NBA players. What does that mean for you all, just to have that type of brotherhood connection with the WNBA, and being able to have them support you all in that particular way?
I mean, it's dope. You know, the same way that, I mean, you always want to have that support. You can go back as far as high school, and middle school, the girls and boys games going on, and having the boys in the stands and vice versa. It just creates a deeper, like, bond, I guess, in terms of our sport. And you know, regardless of what we say or what we, you know, want to put out there and project, I mean, we've been working our tails off to say, like, hey, the product is here. It's time for you guys to support and show, put us on prime time. And the truth is, like, people are going to listen to men before they do us. And so to be able to have men that come in, not only just to show, they're not just showing face, like they actually respect us as players. They watch what we do, they respect what we do, because they understand the sacrifices, investments we make in this game to be the best. And so when, you know, the outsiders looking in see that, like, oh, LeBron loves Asia Wilson, that's his sister, that's, you know, one of his favorite players, like little boys and girls, and be like, oh, okay, cool. And that's just going to draw more eyes. So to be able to have that respect factor, on more than just showing face, it means a lot.
We have time for just a couple more. Alicia, staying in the front row to your left.
Alicia, Sean Holko with Hoop Social. So I know that you mentioned that given this rivalry isn't so much of a rivalry yet, but does the Commissioner's Cup result factor into this upcoming series at all for you guys?
Factor in how?
Just the fact that they lifted a trophy on your guys' home court this season?
I mean, you know, like at the end of the day, yeah, like we remember that. Obviously, we didn't want to not walk away with a trophy here. And we know that's going to give them some confidence that they were able to come on our home floor and win. But, you know, that was back in August. We're two completely different teams right now, both playing really high. And so I think for us, it's just staying focused on the present, not looking back. Like, you go back and watch film from those games and what you did and didn't do. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff we didn't even recognize the team that was on the floor in some of those moments. And so you kind of just use it as a learning curve and not really dwell on it too much, because we can't go back and change it. But yeah, so just focusing on now staying present, being where our feet are.
Anyone else? All right. Alicia, thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? And the first question will come front row to your right.
Hey, Jack Wells, Sabrina. First of all, congratulations on making it this far. Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. This question is for both of you. Obviously, this is one of the most anticipated matchups in the league, and obviously the elevation of the league as far as the growth and the reception of it. What does it mean to have that type of support just from the entertainment industry, as well as other NBA players like LeBron, AD, and so many others that are coming out to support and watch you all play?
I mean, yeah, we've said it, you know, numerous times that, you know, our first goal is to win a championship and to be the best athletes that we can be. But secondly, is to grow this league and to make sure that we leave it in better standing than we found it in. And I think this matchup and the rivalry between us and the Aces have kind of done that and elevated the game and, you know, growing the game in the right way. So we're just as excited to be playing in it as they are to watch it.
Next question, front row to your left.
And Sabrina, given that this is your first finals appearance, are you able to kind of live in the moment and enjoy that, or are you just hyper focused on the task at hand?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like every other game, the way that I prepare and you know, the mentality that I have coming into this game. I think we all kind of have that mentality. We're not going to change anything that we've done all season long. It's gotten us this far, and it's going to continue to help us through the finals as well.
Next question, third row to your left.
Hey, JJ, this is for you. I mean, every time I read something and hear somebody talk about you guys, they're saying that you are the X factor in this series. Just tell me your mindset going in. Do you like being called the X factor, whatever that is? And just, you know, you've had a pretty, the last game was incredible. And how do you feel going in?
Yeah, you know, we obviously watch the games and we study the film too, and we learn from it, and you know, my role on the team and everything like that. So, I mean, I don't have a problem being called the X factor. I approach the game the same way that Sabrina is talking about. You know, you come in and you control the things that you can't control. You approach it with the same mindset, and you go out there and you play hard.
Next, second row center.
Hi, Sabrina. I'm curious what advice you've gotten from, if it's teammates, if it's others that have, you know, that have been in finals before, just about, you know, what it takes to be successful.
Yeah, just enjoying the moment, not losing sight of that and understanding it's everyone's goals and dreams is to get to this point. And obviously we understand what our goal is at the end of this, but being proud of what we've been able to accomplish this far, and, you know, to be a new team and put together the season that we've had this far is a testament to who we are, and not losing sight of the importance and significance of that.
JJ, you've been a part of many finals. How different does this one feel right now?
I mean, obviously it's the first time that I'm with a, you know, with a new team. So obviously a lot of things have, you know, feel different about it, and here with a different group of ladies, and our group is special in its own way. So yeah, just focusing on being able to walk out as a champion this time around.
Next question, second row to your right, and then we're going to turn to Zoom.
JJ, to piggyback on that, if you were here with the Sun again, there'd be that sense of revenge. Can you embrace a little bit of that for you personally? It's a team game, obviously. You're with the Liberty now, with what you've added to this roster. But can you sort of embrace a personal touch of revenge for yourself to help motivate you, or do you not even think about that?
No, I feel like for me, it's always been like, you know, trying to get back to this stage and being able to kind of seal the deal and, you know, finally be at the top of that mountain. So for me, I've kind of carried that kind of chip with me since 2019, regardless of, you know, who it is I'm going against, just trying to play as hard as I can so that, you know, I don't have that feeling at the end.
Next question, third row to your right, and then we'll go to Zoom.
Sabrina, there's so much star power in the backcourt on both sides for this matchup. So how do you see that matchup playing out, and what are you kind of taking as your own personal, I guess, goals on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them 5 times this year, so we understand who we're going up against and how great they are. Obviously, they're guards, but they're bigs as well, and we're not going to be surprised by anything. I think that's the beauty of playing a team so many times in the regular season, is you know what you're going to get coming into this game, and we've prepared, and we've had a week long to be able to get ready for the matchups that we have ahead of us tonight, and we're going to have to be able to adjust on the fly and come out with a lot of intention to be the best team that we can for 40 minutes.
All right, turning to Zoom, we're going to start with Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff, please.
Thank you, Ron. Good morning, both of you. Thanks for being here today. Sabrina, my question is for you. You're making this journey with Benijah Laney. So how has your relationship with Benijah grown, and what do you think the best thing you've taught her is, and what's the best thing she's taught you as you made this journey together since 2021?
Yeah, I mean, we joke about where we were back then to where we're at now, and we'll tell stories of just how different, you know, the team is now. And, you know, it's part of the process. It's why I, you know, loved getting drafted in 2020 to the 12th place team, and understanding that there's room to grow and build it into what it is today. And that's the challenge that I was willing to accept. And now it's really gratifying to be able to see us here one step closer to what the goal is of this organization, and, you know, what we are all wanting to accomplish. And obviously my relationship with her has been amazing, playing with her over the last couple years. I feel like it's grown even more this year, just the more we continue to play with one another and learn who we are as people off the court as well.
Appreciate your time and insight. Have fun out there today.
All right, thank you. We have time for about one more question. I'm going to get to Brian, if you would, please. Everybody else stay with us, but Brian, go ahead.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. This one's for JJ. You've had a lot of success on the interior against Vegas, and you've been leading the league in rebounding throughout the playoffs. So how do you think your work on the inside will help open up the rest of the game for your team today?
Yeah, I just, coming into the game or coming into the playoffs, I just wanted to be able to focus on, grabbing boards and giving my team another chance at offense or giving us extra rebounds defensively. So I think I'm coming in with the same mindset, just to be tough on the inside, regardless of who it is, to make them feel me and to make it a tough night for whoever it is I'm matched up against.
Thank you, and good luck out there.
We have time for one more, and then we're going to be joined by Coach Sandy Brondello. Back to the room, if you would. Third row to your right, JJ.
Hey, JJ. This is kind of goes back to what you talked about a little bit earlier, but, if I would have, or someone would have told you last year, ahead of the Connecticut finals, that you'd be back in this exact place on a podium again with a different team in another finals, just what would you have thought?
See, I almost said a bad word. BS. I would say BS. Yeah, it's really surreal, and we've had enough time now to take it in and to really understand what it is we've accomplished as a team and as individuals. But now it's less about that and more. It's go time now. It's time to play.
All right, JJ, thank you. And we're going to be joined in just a moment by Coach Brondello. In the room, if you would, let me know if you have a question. Coach, second row to your right.
Hey, Sandy. The third quarter seems to have been important in every one of the games for the most part in the series, in the regular season of these guys. What is the key, do you think? Whatever happens in the first half that will make adjustments in the second half, that third quarter will get you guys ready for the second half of the game?
Yeah, it's an emphasis that we've, in most games, in some quarters, we haven't come out as sharp as we'd want to, but this is a time to take a breath at halftime and make some adjustments that we think that may work in the second half. But then it's just coming with the urgency and the desperation that you need. And that's what we're going to need today.
Coach, second row center.
Hey, Sandy. You guys have had a long break and touched on everything in practices and things like that. Is there some some last words that you have at this point, or is it you've said everything and everybody kind of knows what's at stake and what's up at this point?
Yeah, I think I've said everything. I don't think I need to say too many more words. We've thrown so much at them and the motivation too and everything about the moment. And now it's just going out there and play basketball, and then making the adjustments that we just spoke about and may the best team win.
Coach, to your right in the first row.
Hey, Coach, Jackie Ray, Nightcast Media. I wanted to piggyback off of that because Sabrina and JJ pretty much echoed that same thing. You're not going to change anything. But how is the chemistry elevated now that you're in this moment?
Look, I think you've seen this team grow from day one into now, and we put a lot of emphasis on our culture, which is driven by the players. We're not here unless the players buy into what we want to do on and off the court, and it's a credit to their character. We've got great players, when your best players are buying in, I mean, everyone's going to follow, but I've really, really enjoyed this team, just how they've come together, the relationships that they've built. And we've gone through some tough times, but I think that's where you see a team that's connected on the court because they overcome any kind of adversity. And we always, talk about it, the more connection we have, the more commitment we have. And I think that's shown, and we're going to need that coming into this because there's going to be highs and lows. And we talk about, surfing the waves, however big or small the waves will be.
The second row center.
Hey, Sandy, good to see you. I'm curious, in previous games against the Aces, you've really used the bench to your advantage. In the postseason, the bench has seen limited time. And so I'm just curious, how does the bench's usage change in the finals amid how they've been used throughout the postseason?
Yeah, look, I think this is a game that we can go to the bench. If anything, I was happy, we were trying to win a very physical series. So we went with what obviously worked best. I think Marine could have got probably more minutes, if anyone. But Marine's good to go. We talked, she understands, and, this has been a good matchup for her. And, we have spoken about our bench being a strength, and I'm sure they will be during this series as well.
Sandy, second row to your left.
Hi, Sandy. all season, right? This has been the anticipated matchup, 24 of the best players in the world, two of the greatest rosters ever, but we got a pretty special story with you and Becky, former players. Have you had a chance to sort of take a moment to yourself to sort of think about, embrace that? And then how important is it to not get caught up in that and make sure, so, you know, starts at the top, leading from the top, right? To make sure players know you're focused.
Yeah, I think if you've been with me all season long, my personality doesn't change from day one to day ever. This is, I've been, I have experience. I've been in these situations before, and I talk about consistency. So they get consistency from me day in, day out, wins or losses. It's about the process, and keep getting better and better, but also enjoying the journey. You know, I like to have a little fun too. I like to keep it kind of light, but we know when we need to lock in. They know when I'm mad, but you know, it is a great moment. Obviously, I'm proud for us to be here. Another opportunity to be in the finals, but it's another series. So we just focus on one game at a time, and that's what I'll continue to do, and that's what I ask the players to continue to focus on.
Sandy, we're gonna go third row on the right and then fourth row on the right, starting the third.
Back here, here's Andy. I was just wondering if you could take us through your routine this morning. Are you cramming film? Are you going for a walk, sleeping late, and getting up early and work out? Like, what did you do?
Well, last 2 days, I haven't been working out so much in the playoffs, to be quite honest, but the last 2 days before today, I did get back in the gym. I actually like it. That's good for my mind, just to focus on something else. I did all my work last night. You know, there's no more work to be done. It was more about just getting the rest and, you know, try to sleep in a little bit. It's hard when you're still on East Coast time. Get up, shower, have breakfast, and here I am. So just, like I said, it's just going over my end of games. So they're already done. It's just you know, going over, it's fine. Just touching up some points. Maybe I haven't thought too much about what I'm going to do in those situations, but now it's just, the work's done. Now this is let the fun begin. I think we've all been waiting for a long time. So I'm glad that the game's here finally.
One more question for Coach, and then we'll be joined by Becky. Coach, for last row to your right.
Yeah, Coach, when all's said and done, these 2 point guards, Sloot and Chelsea Gray, how do you think they will rank all time in terms of WNBA history?
Great question. I've been obviously in this league for a very long time, and there's been some amazing point guards, you know, Sue Bird and, you know, Tisha Penichero, but I think these two will go down as some of the best, if not the best. They're different point guards, but they certainly help teams rise to the occasion, and they're gonna, both coaches are looking for great games from both of their point guards tonight. So, you know, it's exciting for Slutie. She made the big change for us this year. Wanted to be uncomfortable. She was uncomfortable at times during this season, but she helped us get to where we wanted to go. And Chelsea, I mean, she's, you know, she just keeps getting better and better.
Sandy, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody stay with us. We're going to be joined right away by Becky Hammond. Thank you, Becky. We're going to begin right away with questions. We're going to start in the last row to your right.
Hey, Becky, you know, you talked all week about how you just want to get to the game. Now that you're finally here, I guess, kind of how do you feel? How does the team feel? And what are you guys looking to do in game one?
We're looking to win. That's first and foremost, but I feel like we're ready. We're prepared. I think we just want to start playing against somebody else other than ourselves and our practice guys. So I think we'll, I haven't talked to my assistants yet, and I don't go out on the court and watch them shoot or anything. So I'll get a vibe, but I'm pretty sure they're ready to go.
Next question, standing to your right.
Hey, Becky. You guys have played, you know, a whole bunch of times this year, and yet the not really close games at the end. I'm wondering, what are your thoughts about why the games have not been close at the end?
One team shoots like crap, and one team shoots really well. I don't anticipate a blowout in either direction today. And it's going to come down to the wire.
Next question, Becky, first row to your right.
Hey, Becky, how you doing? Nick Hamilton,
Oh, look
Nightcast
at that
Media.
radio voice. Hey.
First of all, congratulations on getting to this point. We saw yesterday that Candace Parker was at practice. How imperative was that just to have her there and her presence there as you guys leading into game one today?
Well, she brings, you know, championship presence. So anytime we can have her in the gym, have her around the group, she's someone who she's sitting right there near the bench, a little bit behind, but she's always in people's ears. She's seeing different things. She's communicating. So anytime we can have her with us, yes, please.
Anyone else in the room? Becky, last row to your right.
Yeah, Coach, both these point guards have a lot of experience, but specifically with your point guard, how does having a point guard who's that experienced and used to big moments help in the biggest series?
I mean, I think that's one of her separation factors is her calm in the storm, her ability to think and adjust on the fly to whatever they're doing. You know, I said this to the ESPN people, but Chelsea, you know, reads defense and breaks you down, and Kelsey breaks you down and then reads the defense. So it's I need them both. But I think New York has been really intentional on trying to keep Laney on Chelsea. So we're not just going to sit her in the corner just because, you know, we have so much respect for Laney defensively. So we got to find some ways that she can, you know, exert her brain probably first and foremost on the game. And then, you know, she has the ultimate green light to make reads, play calls from me, shooting, anything.
Next question, second row center.
Hey, Becky. That on? Yep. Okay. There's a lot of talk about X factors on both sides and both teams. I'm just curious for your team who you see that person to be. Maybe it's someone that the chatter has not been about.
Mm-hmm. I think this is AC could have a big series. They basically have not guarded her, and she hadn't shot well. She's shooting well now, so I'll be curious to see how they defend her. But I think Jackie Young could have a huge series. You know, she's going to have the toughest perimeter assignment, and I think we can utilize her a little bit more offensively too.
Next question, third row to your right.
Hi, Coach. Throughout the regular season series, it felt like the Liberty were really intentional about crowding Asia's space. Heading into the lead up to this one, did you feel the need to tweak anything from a spacing perspective, or is it just doing, I guess, just pressing the do better button in that regard?
No, we've worked on it. We know someone is going to be in there. It doesn't matter. Someone is going to be in there to clog it up, make her life miserable. So, you know, the way you combat that, everybody knows what's going on. And you just have to have really good ball and player movement and not try to beat it on the first action. You know, keep playing and find it on the second and third, maybe even fourth action. You got to make these teams work defensively. I'm sure they're going to try and make us work defensively. So, and then it's just about making reads because I think at this point, everybody knows what we're running. We know what they're running. And so now you go play basketball, you know. There's no defense for reads. It's this, you do this, we do that. You do that, we do this type of scenario.
All right, we have time for one question from Zoom. We're going to turn to Brian. Brian, go ahead.
Good morning, Becky. Throughout the season, the defense has really sort of been really exceptional, and in the playoffs, you guys had a really good showing against Dallas. So, how do you think the defense has evolved from when you last saw New York at the end of August to where we are now?
I mean, I think there's been games, first of all, that we've had to win on the defensive end when our offense wasn't clicking. But just the connectedness, I feel like, you know, we feel like a unit defensively. And it's good that you have that, you feel secure and safe about that. You know, you've been in a lot of battles where, you know, okay, maybe I can pressure a little bit more because I know I got Asia Wilson back there and Kia Stokes. So we tweaked some things too with our defense from last year, and I think it's really helped. But just a lock-in and buy-in factor. By theirs, I wouldn't say, oh, we were doing this so much better. I will say this, we got a board better. But after that, I like our half-court defense a lot. And we switched it up, and I think they understand the rules of what we're trying to do when we do junk people. They know exactly the role. They know exactly what we're doing. And as you only get good at that by doing it a lot. So I'm not surprised by the end of the season when we're junking people or doing something different, we're more successful at it because everybody understands the theme, the objective, and the how-to.
Thank you.
Coach,
Good luck out there.
To our media, we'll be joined by Kia Stokes at about 10 minutes to the hour. All right, our esteemed guest, Kia Stokes, has joined us with the podium. We're going to begin right away with questions from the room. We're going to start second row to your right.
Kia, how do you feel about expansion as the commissioner today? No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I'm just playing.
What is the feeling going into the game? I mean, there's been a week and such for you guys to rest, and it's finally here. So what's the feeling going into the game? It's, I guess, an hour away.
Just excitement. I think everyone's just a little bit nervous, but I think that's just because we haven't played in a week. But we're excited. We know it's going to be tough. We've had a week to prepare and kind of rest, but I think along with you guys, we're just ready to kind of get it started. It's been a long time waiting, so I'm sure they're excited. We're excited. We're ready to go.
Staying in the second row to your right.
Hey, Kia. So you're right back in the finals. Your start last year, but does it feel different this year for you? In a sense, the position's the same, but the role with so much that you've taken on, so much credit that you're getting, you're getting your flowers this year. But do you feel a different role this year in any way, shape, or form?
Not really. I don't really know how to answer that. I'm just excited to be here. We know how hard it was last year to win, so this year's just been a lot harder for everyone. So I think we're just going to take it one game at a time and just give them our best shot. I mean, they're going to come in here ready to fight, ready to win. So we got to be ready for that and just, keep our heads, stay focused, and just play hard. We worked hard all season to get to this number 1 seed, the home court advantage. So we got to take advantage while we can.
Kia, first row to your right.
Hey, Jackie Ray, Nightcast Media. I think we should have fun with this podium. So let's just say you're commissioner. Aside from an expansion team, what would you want to be your first announcement as a commissioner?
If I was commissioner, I would probably just say it's okay to have charter flights everywhere. It's easier said than done because I'm not the one paying for it. But if I could make that happen, I would. And I'm going to just leave it at that.
Next question, third row to your right.
Hi, Kia. You have played the Liberty a lot this season. Into the lead up of this one, did it feel like more just refinement of what you already do, or did you feel, or were y'all working on actual new things in this matchup?
I mean, we were definitely working on a few new things, but a lot of it was we got to make sure that we're ready to play. We watched film of the last games, especially the ones that we didn't do well in. Kind of saw some things that we need to fine tune and tweak here and there. But at the end of the day, this is the playoffs. This is the finals. It's really going to be a test of who wants it more. It's going to be physical. It's going to be tough. But we just got to stay focused and stay disciplined.
Anyone else in the room? All right, we have time for about one question from Zoom. We're going to go to Rafiq on Zoom, if you would slowly, please, and we will go from there.
This is Rafiq with Nothing But That Sports Talk. This will be like your first. This will be like your second time playing the WNBA finals. Like, what's like the confidence level on another opportunity to win a championship?
I'm sorry, say that again. You kind of cut out on the last
The
part.
question was about your confidence level trying to win the championship.
I mean, we're excited. We've been here before. Majority of this team was kind of in this position last year, so we know what it takes. But like I mentioned before, it's going to be a lot harder. Everyone, we played this team so many times. They know what we do. We know what they do. It's a battle of who just wants it more. So I think, we're confident going into the game just because we've been here. But, this is a completely different team than what we saw in the finals last season. So it's definitely just going to be a hard-fought battle.
And if I could just ask like a follow-up question, the New York, like you played for New York Liberty back when they were kind of like working their way towards being a championship contender. Like, what are your overall impressions about the growth of this Liberty franchise up until this year's finals appearance from the time you played there?
I think it's been great. My first couple of years when I was a rookie, we were pretty good, and then we kind of had a little lull. But I'm really close friends with Jonathan Kolb, their GM, and when I was there with them in the bubble, they were saying, we want to get a Natasha Howard, we want to get a JJ, we want to get a Stewie. If we could do that, we'll really be contenders. So I think it's great that, he said this 3 years ago, and now that it's kind of actually happened, Unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not on New York still, but to play against them in the finals and to kind of see how we put his plan into action, I think it just shows how good of a person he is and bringing the organization kind of, from the bottom, during that time at Westchester to where they are now. I think it's incredible.
Appreciate the insight. Good luck in the finals.
Thank you.
Kia, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, to our media will be joined momentarily by